Hey, as leaders, we know that exceptional customer service is the heart and soul of any successful business. So what I've done is I put together a list of 7 interactive activities that can help you to educate your customer-facing staff that will allow them to be able to really provide game-changing customer service and take it to the next level. So leaders, if you're ready, listen up and let's dive in. Crystal DeCuna here, and I'm thrilled to welcome you back to the Leaders Listen Up podcast. And hey, if you're new, welcome. And if you're coming back, we appreciate you so much. I'm your host and your friend. And each week we equip you with new tools and creative techniques to help you design those epic customer and employee experiences, allowing you to drive loyalty, retention, and sales. And of course, deliver award-winning customer service. My friends, we want you to be that people's champion within your organization. So excited to dive into today's topic with you. Listen up and let's dive in. My friend, we want you to be the people's champion for your team and for your organization. Let's dive into today's topic. Today, we're talking about interactive activities. Hey, who doesn't need a couple of activities in their back pocket, right? When you want to inspire and motivate your team, that's our job as leaders, is to create an environment where our team is going to succeed and where they're going to thrive. And so this is a 2-part series, my friends. This is episode 1. Come back next week for episode 2 because there was quite a few and I could only do them in a little bit of time. So today I'm going to share 3 with you, and next week I'm going to share 4 more interactive activities. So I've designed these activities specifically for customer-facing teams. But here's the thing. If your team is serving your customers predominantly on the phone or predominantly virtually, then they can all be adjusted and tweaked slightly. And if you're having trouble, give me a call, connect with me, and I'll be happy to help work through a couple of other activities. So I designed them specifically more for that face-to-face environment, but absolutely all are adjustable. So ready to dive in? Activity number 1. This is a role play activity. Now, we know most leaders and most people are not big fans of role play, but I got to tell you, in my retail career, I worked with an organization that was a national organization, and role plays was one of those things that really allowed us to achieve the most success because it gave us an opportunity to practice without that customer, right? If you think of any major sports, I know my son plays football. They play 10 games a year. And I think they practice for like 340 days a year. They are constantly practicing, right? And so as a sales team or as a customer service team or as a frontline team member, we don't have a lot of opportunities to practice. And so you want to be able to practice with your team so that you can perfect your performance when you're with your customer, right? You're on stage, it's showtime. It really helped me in my retail career. It was always one of those things where everybody was always uncomfortable to role play. But what it actually ended up doing is create a lot of laughter, a lot of joy, a lot of energy. And most times the role play was like horribly wrong and it just went sideways. But it allowed us to practice because when we were in that situation, we would recall or remember. And sometimes we would always do a bit of a debrief after the role play. So even if, the role play went completely sideways and we had fun with it, the debrief helped us to really say, well, wait a minute, guys, what would we actually do in this type of situation? So first activity is called a role play bonanza. Here is, it's an opportunity for you to be able to create different scenarios where your staff can practice how to handle those challenging customer situations, right? Perhaps your customer might have a disability, and so how would they handle it? Maybe your customer has a language barrier. How would they approach the situation? Maybe your customer is just a difficult customer. Hey, have we ever had difficult customers? We've all had those difficult customers, right? And they're angry and they're aggressive and I want it my way and that's all I want. And so role play with your staff. How would you handle this? Right? What type of tone are you going to use? What type of language are you going to use? What type of body language are you going to use? Right? And so allowing you to practice is really fun. You can do these in little bite-sized activities. So maybe in your 10 or 15-minute huddle, you can break everybody into groups of 2, and one person can be the customer and one person can be the employee, and allow them write it down, write it nice and clear, and allow them to role play it. You could pick one scenario and everybody gets a scenario, or you could pick multiple different scenarios depending on the size of your team. If another way to kind of approach this is get your team to bring the scenarios to the table. It's a great way to get them involved and engaged and allow them to be able to think of how they might approach it. So you might say something like, hey, in next week's huddle or in tomorrow's huddle, or, at the end of our shift tomorrow, I want you all to, if you could kindly bring the most challenging situation you've had in the last couple of weeks, jot down a couple of key points and write it out for us. And we'll role play it together as a team and work through it and see how we could have improved that situation. Or if it was a really great situation, I love using really great ones too. Because if it's a really great experience where, let's say, the customer bought everything under the sun and they left you a review and it was like the most amazing experience, we want to replicate that. What did you do in that scenario that allowed you to be able to create that amazing experience for people? So you don't always want to focus on the negative ones or the challenging ones. You also want to really highlight those really great customer success story and role play. Even in that situation, did you ask for the review? Did you call afterwards and follow up and check how their event went? Did what else could we do to create that customer loyalty? Did we do every one of the steps? Did we offer the credit card? Did we offer the whatever we had to them, right? So think of that. The other tip I like to share in this activity is think of your most common situations where you really kind of drop the ball a little bit. Some of the most common situations where I'm thinking of a particular client, they have a couple of situations where they lose a lot of money. And so, for example, if it's a restaurant experience, I'll use that as a kind of a high level example. But if it's a restaurant experience, and something goes wrong at the restaurant, well, a restaurant is typically going to comp the bill, right? And they comp the bill, so they lose out on that money. And then the customer is still not happy, and the customer still leaves a bad review, and they're still not going to come back, and they still tell 10 people. So not only did you lose the comp for the actual meal because we got the meal wrong, but we lost 10 times more, right? We lost that lifetime value of that customer. And so really great way to be able to kind of get ahead of that is, hey, somebody's steak comes out wrong. What do we do? How do we handle it? What do we say? What are the actual words and the behaviors and the attitude and the body language that we're going to use to be able to handle that? Well, we'll just take the steak back and we'll return it and we'll get them a new one. That's not enough nowadays. How do you apologize? What are you going to say? What are you going to do? We go kind of through a lot of these examples in our customer service trainings, but that's what you want to role play with your team. What's the best possible solution? My son and I were chatting the other day in the car because he was reading Google reviews for this organization. I think it was a restaurant. And so he was looking at the responses to a negative customer review. And so we were looking through them and he says, Mom, this is the response. And the response was a little sarcastic. And so we talked through the response and, how I would respond, how he would respond. And, there was a lot of different ways they could respond to that customer without being so sarcastic, right? Because now that customer is never coming back. And now all the people that are reading that, like us, we're not going to go, right? We're not even going to entertain it because we were obviously thinking of going, but with those little elements of sarcasm, it's just, they're not really looking for great feedback, right? They're only looking for, they're not really looking for real feedback. They're only looking for great feedback. And so you want to be able to train your team on how to respond to those challenging situations. So Role Play Bonanza is a really fun one. Have fun with it. Please let us know your best practices in this, what's worked and what hasn't worked for you. I really hope you try this in your next meeting. Okay, number 2 is about mystery shopping. It's called the Mystery Shopping Showdown. And hey, I love mystery shopping. I've been using it for years as a tool to gather real voice of customer data to be able to really help businesses grow and succeed. And here's the thing with mystery shopping. It can definitely create some anxiety for your staff if they're constantly being mystery shopped and coached, or I wouldn't even say coach. The negative is constantly being pointed out to them on mystery shops. Mystery shops is a way to analyze every element of your service. And I would say the results of most mystery shops are not the customer-facing employee. The results are the leader's ability to inspire and motivate that customer-facing employee. And so think about that for a moment. You are a leader. And so we want to be able to see successful mystery shop results. And so in the Mystery Shop Showdown, you want to enlist the help of maybe, a professional company, or maybe it's just another team member. Maybe you get the team members to mystery shop, like a family member from a team. And so you don't have to overcomplicate it because this is about fun. This isn't about gathering like real data. This is just about getting your team engaged and getting them fun. If it's real data, then there's a whole nother thing I want to do. But in terms of this activity to get them engaged, you might enlist the help of a real mystery shopper or a close friend or family. And you want to get them to evaluate the team or the individual's performance based on a bit of a matrix, really high, really simple matrix, engagement. Maybe did they ask for the sale? Did they upsell? That type of idea. Basic stuff, 5 points for each, like keep it super simple. Challenge your staff to provide that exceptional service without knowing who that mystery shopper is, and celebrate those winners with, maybe a gift or maybe some type of recognition, public recognition. You want to celebrate them. And so here's a couple things to set them up for success. Again, we want really successful mystery shops. We're not looking to catch all the bad stuff. Those type of mystery shops, my friends, never work. These are grown adults that you're dealing with, that you're working with. And so, hey, if they got something wrong, they can watch the mystery shop or they can read the report. They know they did it wrong. There's really nothing you need to do about that. But what we want to do is we want to catch them doing it right? So one of the things I like to do is I like to prepare them 2 weeks in advance, and I want to set them up for success. So every day we might talk about the vision, the mission, the core values. We might talk about a couple of things that they can do to receive that A+ in a mystery shop. So we want to just keep it top of mind every day and set them up for success. Give them opportunities to look at ways that they can create exceptional service for their customers. But I also, again, keep it light, keep it fun, maybe put a scorecard or a scoreboard up somewhere so that you can kind of track. And then at the end, you're going to review all your results and the winner receives a prize. But really a fun one to do over the course of a month, over the course of, 3 months. But don't make it super complicated. This is about keeping it nice and simple, preparing them to perform at a really high rate on those mystery shops. And again, make the mystery shops super simple, like 5 questions and they get 5 points for each. Kind of actually where I built this off of, if you're a fan of cooking shows, there's a cooking show called Guy's Grocery Games on the Food Network. And he does like a really simple rating, plating, taste, and use of the secret ingredient. Keep it simple like that, right? If maybe you're in the restaurant industry, you could use something simple like that as well. All right, so that's mystery number 2, or activity number 2, Mystery Shopping Showdown. I hope you enjoy that one. Let's dive into number 3. Number 3 is the customer journey treasure hunt. And this allows you to take your staff through the journey of doing business with you, but through your customer's eyes. So you could give, depending on the size of your organization, you can divide them into different groups. So group number 1 gets persona number 1. So single Sally, how is single Sally do business with you? Group number 2 might be the Yen family. So create that exact profile of that customer. Asian American family of 4, have their parents living with them. How do they do business with us, right? Like you really create the persona and allow each group to shop with your company or your brand the way that customer would. You want them to actually what you want them to do is you want them to go through the journey exactly like that customer. So what are the roadblocks? Where do they get stuck? Where are there opportunities to create more of a sales opportunity? And that will allow them to be able to really see areas of improvement. And the team that finds the most opportunities to improve wins a prize. It allows them to work together. It creates a bit of a fun dynamic. If you're an online business, this is great exercise to do for online business because you can see how many places they get stuck, how many clicks they have to go through before they can actually purchase. Here's the thing. We have to make it easy for customers to do business with us. We have to make it easy for people to give us their money, right? That's the beauty of sales and customer experience. Make it easy and enjoyable. The other tip I'll say in here, in a retail environment, I was just recently working with a larger retail organization. And when we did this activity, it was quite alarming because everybody always walked through the back door when they came to work. And so I said, okay, guys, like we're going to walk through as a customer. Let's park our car where our customers park our car. Let's walk in through the front door like our customers walk through. Let's look up, let's look down, let's look all around. And the immense amount of opportunities we found were like pages long, right? Because when you're in the store, you're looking at it through your eyes. Yes, you might check a light bulb here and you might catch a dust bunny, But when you're not walking through the door the exact same way your customer would, I mean, we found problems in the parking lot. We found challenges and opportunities. We actually ended up putting like a couple of fun signs in the parking lot so that our customers were connected to us. And we put up a sign that said, if it's your birthday, you park here. If you're shopping at and then we put their location. And so we created a birthday parking spot. So there's a couple of fun things that we did and you can do in your organization as well. Now, again, very applicable to the virtual world. Taking that customer through that online, that user experience, very possible. And if you want help on any of these and how to kind of make them work for your particular business, just connect with me, my friends. I'd be delighted to help you and walk you through it. All right, that is just the tip of the iceberg, leaders. I really hope you're able to take those 3 activities, use them all, use one, adjust it, adapt it, make it work for you. But hey, here's the thing. We want you to be the people's champion. I want you to be the leader that you wished you had. And so in the second part of this series, I'm going to share 4 more interactive activities that will help you, help your customer-facing team really, reach those heights, reach those customer experience excellence that we're all looking for. So stay tuned for part 2 next week. Remember, leaders, it's about creating an outstanding customer and employee experience, and it all starts with you investing that time and that energy in your team. Your team is your number 1 customer. And so these activities, I wish you super success with them. Let me know how it goes. And please keep in touch and have fun with them. Share any best practices or new ways that you've learned to discover or do it. Share it with us, please. We'd love to share it with our audience as well, and make sure that we're really, we're all delivering better experiences together. All right, leaders, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected. And hey, if you found value in this, please share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and your coworkers, and start implementing some of these tools today. Hey, remember, it's your goal to stay ignited so you can excite your employees and they can delight your customers. That's it for today, folks. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.